Hi, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. This is Jennifer from Circle of Besties, online metaphysical shop. I'm the owner, but also your host every Tuesday night, sort of between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today we're starting at 7:30. So, hello, Maud. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Maud, since you're the first one to join, if you have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat. We appreciate it if you are watching live, that if you hop on the chat, you can ask a question and I'll pull cards for you. Otherwise, I'm just going to start pulling cards for general reads, and then as people come on and ask questions, we'll do more personal ones. All free. You can donate. You can buy me a coffee. You can subscribe to the channel. Everything's welcome. Not necessary, but welcome. Okay. So, let me get my setup here a little bit more. Okay. Whoa. Oh, this is going to take some getting used to. I think I'll go on this side. Okay. All right. Maud, you were so chatty. Might sound funny, but I went to a fair today and ate fried butterball. Oh, yeah. You'll never have one again? Why not? Oh. Hi, Instant Karma. Welcome. Okay, so I pulled 3 cards for us. Just going to use this as our overall energy for the read for the evening. And so I pulled it in past, present, future, or advice. So past is like giving up control, bankruptcy, generosity, reckless spending, releasing of the past, financial insecurity. So that's the, I have a teaching deck, so I like to read what it says here. But for me, so upright, the 4, actually, I think I'm in reverse here. So upright, oh, my camera's upside down. Great. All right, everyone bear with me. So in the upright, it's a need for control. It's being frugal, saving your money. I see it as the, like savings card, or, like that, you're waiting for, something big to arrive. So you're saving up, you're just waiting, you're waiting, and you're saving money, or you're biding your time, or you're just waiting for that next moment. It also could be a hoarder card, believe it or not. In reverse, you can be, it's actually a very nice meaning. So it could be like, so think of a hoarder, like somebody who can't step outside of their mindset to, see that they're, surrounded by whatever, like too many things. They're just in their own little bubble, and they're cluttering it up with things that are meaningless, but but in their minds are absolutely necessary for them to be, to live happily. So, in reverse, we're giving up control. It could be like that. The law of abundance, we talk about that a lot. So in reverse, it could be you're acting as if you already have the money. You're acting as if you already have the thing. You're acting as if there's no time period before, you'll be gifted this thing that you're wanting or manifesting. So I kind of like that. So it's sort of like resetting so in the reverse, it's resetting your mind so you are, just in the right energy flow to attract those things that you want. So, and then I don't know about all of you, but for me, new beginnings, career opportunities, resources, manifestations, coming to be, abundance, stability, security, prosperity. I think those are all the things I always ask for. Anytime I'm stirring my coffee a certain way, I'm lighting a candle, I'm blowing a candle out, I'm looking at the full moon, I'm anytime I'm in my mind, like manifesting or performing some sort of ritual, those are the things that I also ask for health and safety and happiness and, awareness to be able to, really make the best of anything that does come for me and my family. Generational wealth, generational stability. Okay, so an Ace of Pentacles is in our present position. So I know we have a lot of job hunters on our lives. So it could mean that an offer is coming your way, or even an invitation to interview, which would be fantastic. Something that has to do with the material, your material world. So it could be, a new house, just could be like, family, maybe, but mostly has to do with like, like green energy. So a new car, something material. We're not going to read too much into it because this is our overall energy. But as we do the readings for individuals, then we'll see what that means to them. It also has to deal, like you might have a Capricorn in your life, or a Taurus, or a Virgo. So it's earth energy. So Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgos are, earth energy, grounded, stable, very hard workers, really logical, when necessary. Think of a business person, but somebody who is in management, somebody who's very objective and, has a lot of knowledge and has built upon, their skill, their skill set. So somebody who's who has a lot of experience, but, it all adds up, and then they're, that mentor, or somebody who is, overseeing a situation with, with learned knowledge and accrued knowledge. It also has to do with your crown chakra. So I find this to be, interesting that, so for me, so say I'm trying to manifest a new job. I'm absolutely frantically trying to do it, which is probably the problem, because I'm caring a little too much. I'm not being blasé enough about it. But crown is, it's really your intuition. It's your connection to the universe. So it's, it's your higher self. So, again, really, I think mixed, with the Four of Coins, and then, so we have a lot of coins. So Four of Coins to the One of Coin, it's, letting go of that need for control, and just sort of being in the right energy to attract abundance. I think that we're headed in the right direction. It just has to be a choice. I mean, I know we're not supposed to choose it. It's supposed to just be. But, we have to, if we find ourselves sort of going back into that lack mentality, we have to, remind ourselves that, that's not the way the law of abundance works. So we have to, be cool, get into the right vibe. And then, so because my camera's upside down, forgive me. So the Queen of Wands is in our future. So I'm really liking this. This could be, because it's a royal, could be a person that's in your world. Somebody who's very attractive, confident, passionate, independent, determined. Somebody who's a social butterfly, really the life of the party. It's a positive card. So, this person will bring a lot of positive energy. They could be very intuitive. A little witchy, in fact. Maybe this is me. I'm a little witchy. Almost witchy is my store's tagline. An online metaphysical shop for the almost witchy, which I like. I think it's fun. But a lot of people get into my online store and don't know what to do, because it's got, I think there's 5,000 different items you can order. So I'm noodling how to market that to make it easier for people to shop. Maybe even offer to, be a sort of a personal shopper for them, dependent on the situation. But then that might make me a little bit more than almost witchy. So I've got to think on that one. I'll let you know. But for friends that are here, I'll always do that for you, no matter what you think of me, almost or not. Okay. So this is a positive, like I said, it's a very positive card. And then, it also attributes to, Pisces and Aries energy. So Pisces, very, like I said, very intuitive, very like in the ether, very in tune with their higher self, sort of walking around with a floatiness to them. And Aries is like, think of the god of war. So, Pisces is a water sign, Aries is a fire sign. Bring these two together, and it's like, fire meets water, but it's not oil meets, I forget what the saying is, but Aries are just like so much energy, they don't know what to do themselves. Magnetic, like life of the party. I don't know if any of you have like one friend, maybe when you're younger, or in your 20s, if you're new, I don't know who's listening, but how old you are and where you live. But, when you're just sort of like coming into, your age where you're going to live on your own and you're away from your family, you're trying to figure out who you are. I don't know how it happens, but you always end up meeting one friend that like, they're sort of like, you see the angel and the devil on the shoulders. Well, it's like you have so much fun with them, and like you just go into your own little bubble of normal, and it's like, people see you together and they're like, what on earth is happening with these two? It's like you can get arrested or you could be completely boring, but it's like the most fun type of friendship, and it always happens when you're trying to figure yourself out. But I'm still friends with that person today. Let's just say like each one of my personalities has one of those friends. So depending on the environment or the mode, I've got a ride or die. But yeah, so I would say the Queen of Wands is definitely a ride or die. So if this is you, if this is someone in your world, so I think you're going to be stepping out of that like lack mentality. The woe is me, like why, like why is this happening to me? Or, just like sort of an energy where you feel like you can't change it at all. And, with the eclipse that we just had and we had the full moon, I think that that energy just sort of it forced the epiphany to say, okay, what am I doing? Like to really just, so like we were talking about hoarders before, where they can't see outside that bubble of their normal because that's what they need to feel safe. It's like it's like all of a sudden that bubble just pops and you're like, oh wow, like wait, I do have other options. There are other things that I can do to make me happy. Like the other day I was just talking to a friend of mine. And I said, why am I always trying to manifest a job? I'm like, why don't I just manifest to win the lottery? I'm like, ultimately, it's like money is what I need to like solve my problems. I'm like, why do I want to work? So I was joking, like, and that's completely unlike me because it's like I was raised by a workaholic and I was raised by, grandpa, and then my mother's parents were like, literally like on their own since they were 15, had to drop out of school and like learn how to make money and save to support their families. So they were survivalists and, and unbelievably successful just on sheer, need to survive, like instinct. So, but I'm like, I had that conversation the other day. I'm like, why on earth am I not manifesting money? Like, like we all work to make money, but it's like, I just want stability for my family. I want us to be able to do things. But like for me, like that scenario includes like a job, paying back student loans, like all these different things that I need to do in order to feel like I'm checking boxes. But like, who made that list? Why does that list exist? Like, can I rewrite a list? Can I have different things that define define success for me? And like, ultimately, like, what do I need long term? And are there other roads to get to that goal? So that's what these two cards are. And then the Queen of Wands, so maybe this is us. Maybe this is us, the new us, We're moving into an energy that's completely different than the energy we've had in the past because we realize that, yes, it's done us, it's done us some good. Like we have been able to, carry on to a certain point and be successful, but then things change. We had COVID, the workforce is horrible. It's an election year. There's so many things that are changing all around us that the rules are different now. So it's kind of like coming out of that fog or that bubble that we were in that worked for a long time and figuring out what the new rules are. And like, we have to put like our big girl pants on and be like, okay, they have to sort of like regenerate that, like dig that 20-year-old, like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun with this friend. Like, I hope we don't get arrested tonight type of energy, because it's like, you have to have sort of like a devil may care attitude about moving forward into a new bubble, or into a new checklist, or into a new energy that serves the current environment, which is ambiguous and everywhere and uncertain. So, yeah, we gotta get our, we gotta get our grooves on. Get our groove back. Number one, define what it is, and then how it, and then recreate that checklist, like I said, and like what defines success for us. So, all right, let me move into some readings. I'll leave these out because I want us to use them as. I'm going to put them up here, and then I'll refer to them. I'll pull them back into the camera. I guess I can. I'll just keep them underneath the other reads. All right. Wednesday Karma, you don't have to give me coffees. I'm probably going to be around. I don't know if it's the Apple Fest, which is the 28th, on Main Street in Stafford, Connecticut. So Let's Get Wired is moving their store. It's a business that I collaborate with, and I know they're going to have like an open house. So I had said I'd stop in, but I don't know that I'll be there as a reader. It's kind of like everything's up in the air, but I definitely will be there more often. Once they're in the new location, I think they'll be there after Halloween. So November, December, definitely look for me. Like weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think I'm going to rent, rent an office space just so I can be their in-house reader. We talked about it a little bit, but we haven't defined what that means to us yet. So, but yeah, you and I have a connection, so we will stay in touch, and I'll definitely let you know, so you can come see me in person. Okay. All right. I'm just going to assume that every card that I get is in like opposite, because the camera is upside down. So this is the Hero's March, So I see us, claiming a victory, really like coming through on something that is very meaningful to us and meaningful to, those around us that we're, trying to prove ourselves for. So for me, that's my family. That's, me trying to, being a good example for my son, help my family succeed, continue to educate myself, continue to do things that feed my soul. But at the same time, I'm paying off debt. I'm working towards building stability. Like we're working on getting a new house, setting up generational wealth, like making good choices, good investments. And then this is, this is that like victory parade in the cause that you're working towards, it's right on that staff there. So, this is a nice card to pull out first. Yeah, me too. All right. So we're taking I gotta get the non-glare. So we're going on a new adventure. So we got the Fool. So this is the crossing. Again, it's a reminder that we have to like be in that right energy in order to attract the things that we really want. We've already gotten the card that is going to be successful, but I think the Fool being a challenge, it's telling us that we just have to be present, make it a choice. So, I'll tell a story. I'm sure my son will kill me, but it's, we're staying with family, so it's very easy to just run in and out of the house without shoes on. So he hurt his foot earlier, and I said, okay. I said, we need to slow down, and we have to, make a rule that we put shoes on no matter what. Whenever we're going outside, no matter where our shoes are, if we have to like go find them or whatnot, you have to put the shoes on. I said, because then you're just not blindly running out and like maybe stepping on a rock or like tripping on something that might be on the porch, or just like unconsciously, like moving around somewhere where you're very comfortable, but going a little too fast sometimes because you're excited and you want to tell somebody something, but you're not really looking. So you'll see that this man, the fool, is not looking. He's just sort of like ready to walk off a cliff and sort of like la-di-da, like, here we go. And then the dog's like, hey, pay attention, man. You're about to walk off a cliff. So we made a choice to put on shoes every time we leave the house. Like, make it a choice. So this is telling me that you'll be successful as long as you remind yourself to whatever it is, like make it something that you have to choose. So you don't lose sight of how important it is. And then you're successful each time. So I'm just going to go into like future energy. All right. I got the Chariot. So, definite movement forward. Could be travel. It could be, for me, this also like designates like the medical field, or like, like if you're facing any health challenges that you're going to overcome them. So you'll notice that this also, this also has to do with a Cancer. So you might have someone in your world, because it's the major arcana, and it could specify, someone in your world that has gone through some pretty heavy stuff, and then they're on their way to that next best thing. But let me tell you, like, this is all self-motivated. So like, if somebody's achieving something big, it's because they worked their buns off for it. And you'll notice that in the card, bring it closer. The Chariot is being pulled by two phoenix. I don't know how to pluralize phoenix. Phoenixi? Venuses. That sounds dirty. But you know what I'm saying. So so the phoenix, the black, and then I don't know if that's like an ivory phoenix. Okay. So there's no reins on them. There's no way to tether them to the Chariot. So the thing the guy is standing in, and they're, supposedly galloping away from this city in the background. It's like he's controlling them with his mind or with his will. So the Chariot is, overcoming obstacles and moving forward in the right direction by sheer determination. And, for me, like I said, like I'll tell you that it could mean somebody who's a Cancer. So someone's born, what is that, late June, early July. And then it could be having to do with like a health. If you're experiencing any, or maybe anyone in your world who is having health issues, it just tell me that they're going to overcome it. You'll see the angel wings above the here. So this right here, for me, that just sort of looks like the medical symbol, which is a staff with a snake wrapped around it. But I know that's not it. But for me, it just sort of always goes there for me. And then this looks like the Harry Potter. Oh my God, when they play Quidditch, the golden schnitz, the golden stitch. Oh my God, I can't talk. But it's angelic protection. So you're being looked after, or whoever is worried about any health issues is being looked after. Trying to get all these cards over here. All right. Let me just check the chat, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay. All right. Yes, I can't talk. Thank you. All right. So what does that mean to us if it is this stitch? It's it's okay. So if it's a health issue and that's a golden snitch, it means like it's barely perceptible. You almost have to have like a super keen eye. It pops out of nowhere. It's very fast moving. Yeah. So we can sort of look at all the comparisons to that to sort of identify what that card might be telling someone. I think that'd be more like a personal read. Okay, so heartbreak. So the three of Swords is a heartbreak card. It could mean grief. It could mean sadness. It could be a loss. It could be, it could represent a lot of different things. But the swords are thoughts, communications. It could be, again, another medical thing. I once saw a reader in Salem. I go every year to Salem. I'm going this Sunday to Tuesday. I'm so excited. I go with one of my best friends every year. We've been going for 6 years. So for her, it's more of a personal thing. Her husband was tragically killed. A gun went off. Like they were visiting with friends, and the husbands were looking at an antique gun, and the thing went off and killed her husband right in front of her in their living room. It's the most sad story I think I know, like personally, with somebody who's like a very close friend of mine. So they were there. The reason they were all together was because they were planning a trip to Salem. So I knew her from work. We ended up, she knew that I was intuitive. But I ended up taking a different job outside the company that she still worked for. I went to her husband's wake with all the people that I worked with under her. And then from that point forward, we could be friends because she wasn't my manager anymore. And so she and I were talking throughout the year following his death, and spooky things would happen, like her closet lights would go on and off, her keys went missing. I have a friend who's a psychic medium that I referred her to, somebody who's like a medium, where it's like she sees dead people, sort of medium, and could really speak to her husband on the other side and give her really, like conversational type things, where I can read cards and I can have instincts and I can, like I'll hear a word or I'll maybe get a name here and there. But the lady that I know is, she's got the big gift in my opinion. But so anyway, this friend whose husband passed away started going there. So we decided that because that's where they were going to go, she had never gone. So I could be a tour guide in Salem, Mass. I love it there. But been there so many times, it's almost like, but what fun it was to, go with somebody who's just trying to sort of escape that mental torture. So for me, this is like sort of like a mental cage, it's something you can't really easily escape from. Sometimes it's like barely there. Sometimes it's the only thing you can focus on. But I'm going to get another card on that. So let's see what that means to us. And then, so my point was, every year I go and we get readings. We eat seafood by the ocean. We go in, and then the past couple of years, they actually have a tiki boat cruise, company. There's this couple that started in COVID, and you get on their tiki boat, and there's 6 people, and then the people who are running the boat and their dogs, and they take you for an hour and a half around the harbor, and you can eat food and have drinks and listen to Jimmy Buffett basically, and so that's what we do. We no longer do spooky stuff, but over the years I was able to introduce Salem to her, and then now we just go on tiki boat cruises and stare at water. But there was a reader there, let me get back to my original point, who said that when she saw the 3 of Swords, that she thought it was dental work. That was a very long-winded point. So if this medical emergency has anything to do with your teeth, don't worry, you're not going to be, no hearts will be broken. You just will have this, excuse me, you'll just have a successful dental procedure. Oh my goodness. What are you guys going to do with me? Am I too much or what? All right. All right. Page of Wands. Okay. So we know that I watch a reader on YouTube, Star Lourdes Tarot, and she always calls this guy Pajama Man because it looks like his outfit is pajamas. Page of Wands is part of the Royals. It is someone who is young, in the initial stages of whatever they're doing. So it could be, a page could mean, the initial beginnings of, maybe it's a inspiration, could be, a new passion, a new hobby, new strategies. So that's what we were just talking about. Everything like that we were talking about before now has been, how are we going to infuse our world with a new strategy? And so this is that. So I would say, it's okay to start over. It's okay to feel like a novice. It's okay to, not. So here's another thing this just popped into my head. I just said this the other day to a friend. And she's like, what's the job that you love doing? And I have been like a C-suite executive assistant for most of my career in a corporate environment, actually in many different industries. So I was also, at the University of Connecticut, I was also, a C-suite assistant there. But I love being someone's right hand, someone's strategic business partner, their gatekeeper, their bulldog, their best friend, their therapist, all those things. I really love that job. But I told her, I said, I just got my graduate degree in business management. I'm like, I have all this experience in communications. So really the jobs I should be applying for are, if you were to look at it from like an HR perspective, a lot higher level than an executive assistant. But it's like, what makes you happy? But so I told her, I said, I don't know if the executive assistant is my comfort zone and I'm just gravitating back to that because it's what I know, or if I'm not getting anywhere, in communications or in event planning or in change management or chief of staff work because I just got my degree, because I'm just this, because I have more, I only have this many years. So I said, I'm still learning to be great at that. I said, whereas the EA role, I am already great. I passed great probably 10 years ago, So it's like, we have to decide if we're okay with not being great at something and working towards greatness, or, do we just want to go with, we have to determine if it's our being too comfortable in something that makes it great, or, what defines it as great? Are we up for the challenge of something new? Like, where's the disconnect in some ways for, the new path? Because you need to get ahead of it. You have to almost roadmap your strategy. So page your wands, it's okay to not be great at something new, but to still be motivated enough to plan that roadmap, get your strategy together and try. So let's see what comes next. If anybody has any questions, please put them in the chat. I know I'm the one who's running this live, but I do like to interact and worry about other people's problems every now and then. Whoa. Okay. All right, we got the death card. So irrevocable change. But for me, I'm a Scorpio, so the death card equates to, Scorpios. It just means transformation. Transformation that isn't easily, you just don't easily go back. So, combined with the Page of Wands, we could look at this as a message that tells us that, take a look at the past, 5 to 10 years and sort of track your progress and where did you, slow down and where did you pick up? How did you feel? I think that what comes next, it just has to be completely different. Again, because we're moving into everything is so ambiguous and tumultuous because of the election and post-COVID, who the heck knows what people want, what's ideal, remote or in office. What do we have to kowtow to an employer? How do we become our own, do we start our own business and will it succeed? Who's going to be our president? Does that make a difference? All these things that come into play. So, let me pull one more card, but my gut is telling me, okay, so we have the Knight of Cups. So, here comes in a new emotional interpretation of transformation. So it's coming, it's definitive. It's a new relationship with yourself. It's a new way of looking at life and defining what you find to be successful, or what makes you feel whole, safe, secure, content, all the feelings. So this will be interesting to hear, how these next couple months, pre and post election. And if you're in the U.S., I know I have some people who aren't from the U.S. who listen in, but if you're in the U.S., it's definitely a crazy time. It keeps everybody guessing. Death card keeps popping up for me. Can you ask for the detail of that? Yep. So Knight of Cups. So if I were to look at for Instant Karma 510, if the death card is something for you, and the Knight of Cups, so could be something to do with a relationship, could be something to do with your feelings, could be, but remember, death doesn't mean ending. It means transformation. So it could be the next step. It could be, it just could be like a big change, from where you were to where you go next. So it's not good or bad. Let me pull some more. Maybe I'll grab my other deck so I can, I'll let those sit under the selenite for a minute. Hang on. Oh, I got this just fell out. I got the King of Pentacles. So abundance, wealth, generosity, prosperity, solid investment, security, provider, discipline, sensual. Hello. Reliable. So the King of Pentacles, it's the top royal in that suit, has to deal with anything material. So again, like financial, business, abundance, wealth, prosperity. It could be home, it could be family, or providing for your family, like anything that's, abundant space. And then, it's a very positive card. It does have ties to both fire and earth energy. So you'll see that it says both Leo and Virgo also, align with the King of Pentacles. So Leo is late July, early August. Virgo is late August, early September. And it has it here, August 12th to September 11th. So Virgo as well. But, so I don't know if any of those astrology signs have any meaning for you. So it could be a person. If it aligns with either one of those, then it could be a person in your world. Definitely, very earth-based because of the pentacles and the intensity of the pentacle energy. I would just say, like, if this is a person, it could be just somebody who's like really in control, really makes you feel safe, really in charge. Knight of Cups, paired with the Knight of Cups, it's almost like you might be moving to the next level with someone in a relationship. It could be in business. It could be, you could be buying a home. I'm not sure, you and your mortgage officer are having a, you've been approved conversation, something like that. I'd have to get more details in order to really dig into that one, but oops, these do not want to shuffle today. I'm shuffling off camera, so sorry. I have such a small window here. All right, let's see what else I can make up. You mentioned a Leo person coming in during the last reading. I think this is the same. Okay. Is it sad that I don't remember anything that I have to just if you remember something that, and I'm just telling you now, I won't remember. So you're going to have to give me the details again. Sometimes I remember. Depends on, sometimes I don't. Okay. So I got the Knight of Cups again and the Empress. So, divine feminine fertility, could could be parenting, like, oh, it's maybe like meeting the kids if you're in a relationship, something like that. Or having kids, abundance, nurturing creativity. Again, this is a Taurus, so another earth energy. Let's have a positive card, and that's this. All right, so we have another Knight of Cups. So, again, it's like romance, being entertained, like a new way of feeling. It's also following your heart and dreams. So I really like that. It's water energy, so of course it's all emotion. Libra, Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. Like, Libra is end of September, early October. It has to do with your heart chakra. So if this is a matter of the heart, just be like, so you got a double Knight of Cups. So it's a new emotional, it could be romance, it could be a relationship. Either way, it's a relationship. It's a solid relationship that feels very meant to be. The Death is, again, transformation, so different from anything you've ever known. So the Empress is like ultimate femininity, and so it'd make you feel like a goddess, make you feel like, the only woman in the world type of energy. And the King of Pentacles, it's like, man, like you feel safe, loved, secure, happy. You see your future with them. You see, it's just a very grounded card. So I like those. I'm not sure where our messages sort of took off, didn't it? But I'm going to start fresh. Let's see if we get anything different. All right. I like to mix these up, don't I? Okay, so as a reminder, we have, here are our cards from the beginning. So we had, our four of coins in reverse. So letting go of that need to control everything, being more in step with the universe and law of abundance, and, making a conscious decision to stay out of the lack energy, and to, go forward, accepting things that might not be part of our traditional definition of normal. And then, the Queen of Wands, really stepping into our personal power, getting our mojo back, figuring out, how can we succeed, in different ways, step outside what was comfortable for us over the years, sort of look at this new environment we're walking into, post-COVID, election time. What does it mean to be successful? How do we get there? Again, remember my story about, the lottery versus a job. Why am I using all of my energy to manifest a job when I could be using all of my energy to manifest a lottery? When who needs to work? So, all right. This is a fuller deck, so I'm going to use this one. All right, let's do one more read, and then we'll do a yes or no card pull, because I have yes or no's on these cards, and then instead of my coin, which is still packed in the bag, but I know where it is. So we're moving towards a more creative read next live next week. And now that we have the camera and everything set up, we're in much better shape than we have been over the past couple weeks. Okay, I'm gonna turn these over since they. All right. Okay, so we might be seeing a little bit of competition. I don't read this as, I'd see this as training, figuring out what we need to do to compete in an environment that's so competitive. So I see this as a competitive environment we're all sort of facing, figuring out how do we handle ourselves in 2024, and and work towards the energy that we want. So if it's romance, if it's work, if it's material, whatever it is, we really have to sort of we can't do what we've always done. We have to sort of shift it to match the current energy, which is everywhere. So we have to be more intentional, make decisions, make things a choice. like really once we figure out what our plan is, we have to really be intentional about it. And then this, the star is like fantastic. So I am optimistic about the future. I think that's a great way to end. Has to do with your crown chakra. So again, your connection to your higher self and the universe. It's a yes card that's very positive, but hope, direction, renewal. Oh my goodness, I couldn't make that up if I wanted to. Trust, belief, prosperity, positivity, creativity and inspiration, positivity and rebirth. So rebirth is also the death card. So instant karma 510. The death card and the star, you've got two things that signify rebirth. So I think that, we just, I don't know, maybe we fly to Jamaica and, get our groove on. I don't know. I'm quoting a lot of 90s movies lately. But I gotta figure out a way to stay relevant. Oh my goodness, these cards. All right, one more and then we'll do a yes, no. Close out for the night. If anybody is watching this as a recording and they would like to put a question, just put a comment on any of the playbacks on my channel, any of the recordings on my channel, and I will respond to you. I'll get notified that there's a question, there's a comment or anything on my YouTube. All right. So our advice is to, stay strong-willed, stay defensive, be determined, protect ourselves, persevere, be persistent, fight for what we want, fight for what we know is right. So, if there's any nervousness around like, okay, maybe the way that I feel doesn't really go along with the general collective, or the environment that you're in. I mean, say you're in an environment where you're surrounded by people who just don't think like you do. You really, like, on the inside just feel like you don't fit in, or it's not your world. I mean, there's so many options for us nowadays, like with the internet and, technology. And, an election year can be a year that jumpstarts something for us if we're ready and we have a plan. So say you want to start your own business and, you start looking into, small business loans and like, how do I get approved for this, for that? Like, would I be, a storefront? Would I be an online shop? Like, what do I want to do that will make me money in a different way than I've always thought I had to earn money? And let me go and find my tribe. Let me go and do something that I'm passionate about. And I'm surrounded by people who are probably more passionate than me because they found me because I was the one who was brave enough to start. And then to put myself out there, and guess what? All the people come running. So everybody's happier. It's just a matter of like being sort of like a patriot. You got to be revolutionary. You got to, just got to, like I said, start. Just go do it. All right. Okay. All right. So everybody who's listening, put a question in your mind. If it's a yes or a no, okay. And the card that had come out was the 8 of Cups. So it is a no. So hopefully that's a good no. I'll let you know what this means to me. It's walking away from something that doesn't suit you towards something better. So it's no, but on to the yes. You see where I'm going with that? All right. I hope you have a wonderful week. Happy Tarot Tuesday. So nice to be back online. And I, like I said, put any comments that you might have in the recording comments on my YouTube channel, or send me I'm on Instagram, and if you can find me there, you can send me a message. All right. I will hope to see you next week. Have a great week. Okay.